Good morning, good morning. It is Monday, October the 15th, 2018. You're listening to RadioFreeRadford.com. While you're at it, go ahead and like us on Facebook by searching Radio Free Radford and follow us as well. You can follow on Twitter at Radio Free Raddy and like us there too. And get on over to Instagram and take a follow and get the latest information from Radio Free Radford and a lot of good things as well. Obviously, you all have seen those wonderful memes they produce. And so if you like the memes, head over to the Instagram and Twitter page as well as the Facebook and like those and share them just if you'd like to with your friends and maybe your family members too. Alrighty, well, obviously I hope each and every one of you had a wonderful fall break. Of course, the weather was a little bit cooperative after we got rid of Michael, and thankfully he is long gone and not affecting the U.S. because it brought some cooler weather behind it. We saw the 60s for both Friday, Saturday, and yesterday, the 50s yesterday, and lows were dropping in the 40s and some upper 30s Sunday morning were reported around the area. And this morning it was waking up in the upper 40s, low 50s. We had some clouds out there. We did have some sunshine that's trying to come out, but more so clouds today with a forecast high of 77 with a low of 50. Slight chance of a rain shower may come across the mountains this afternoon, but I wouldn't get too concerned with that because most of these rain showers are to start falling apart either way it does go. And good news is that we can finally dry out after almost wet summer so far it seems to be. And a lot of people are excited about this nice fall weather. And I had to break out the winter gear, believe it or not. Found my hat, my scarf, and gloves. I put those out, but I didn't use them. But I did have to use my hat this morning because it was a little bit chilly out there. I found a little bit of a flannel I was wearing around campus and using that to get from class to class this morning, even wearing it too, because I love this time of year. Finally we can grip onto some much colder or cooler temperatures, I should say, but before too long we will be getting much colder as we head towards the next several months or so. And if you're wanting this cold weather, well, you're in for a treat, folks, because it's going to be sticking around. Cooler weather, I should say. It's going to be sticking around. So today, you consider this the last warm day, I guess you want to say, as we'll be seeing the rest of the cooler temperatures arriving much soon. And anyway, let's see what else has been going on around the weather world. Well, the tropical storm Michael did left some major impacts across the area. Now, obviously, those who went home for fall break probably ran across some closed roads. You'll probably even detoured if you left Thursday afternoon. If you're heading up to Northern Virginia or heading out towards the eastern 757, or if you were sticking around here and you had family within the next, hour, 30 minutes or so in this area, you probably ran across some roads that had some tree debris that was on it, and thankfully they have been mostly cleared out of the way, and that's good news. Power outages. Thankfully, Radford University did not lose power, but there were some areas around here, around the New River Valley, that did lose power, but most of those were restored on Saturday afternoon and some on Sunday. The hardest hit areas were south side. Believe it or not, Danville, Virginia, just is about 2 hours or so from here, southeast, picked up 6 inches of rain just in like a few hours when that rain came through from Thursday, and broke the record of back in 1918. So we broke a 100-year-old record of rainfall, or was it 1914? Anyway, between 1914 and 1918, we broke a record of 6 inches just in a short amount of time. And the power of water is scary, and believe it or not, it's the most prone leading deaths during the summer months. Because people, always go out during a thunderstorm, and especially during, like I said, late June and early August is the very time frame for all this happening. It's vacationing season, number one. Number two, we get these thunderstorms, and they just produce a lot of rain in a short amount of time, and it produces flash flooding. And we saw a lot of this localized flooding take place, parts of the Carolinas, and even, a very unfortunate Florida, Panama City Beach and Apalachicola, and Mexico Beach really suffered a big loss there. and there are still thousands, hundreds and thousands still in the dark down there. Some of those people in Florida, if you have relatives or family relatives down there or friends that are in that area, just, kind of hopefully they can check in with them. I understand that cell services and internet is down for portions of northwestern Florida because of the hurricane that damaged so much to that area. So that was something, it was a Category 4 storm. When it made landfall last Wednesday morning, it made landfall there, and it just started chucking along quickly, and moving up towards the east coast of the Mid-Atlantic states. And, parts of the Carolinas that saw from Florence almost a month ago, they got some more rain again, and like they don't need that anymore. They did see some power outages, and still to this morning, there are still thousands of customers in the dark between the eastern panhandle of Virginia and down towards, the Carolinas. There's a few scattered power outages along the coast of, or the state of Alabama, and to some parts of Georgia too, still with that electricity. So they're continuing to work across with that. Just, some of these areas, it's going to take even, decades to get all this restored back behind, because some of this stuff is so historic down there. And such an unfortunate disaster that had, occurred in such, just a one-day time frame, created thousands without power, and the death toll is still rising. I think we're almost closing in on 20 on this now, because they're still looking for people, looking for survivors, and hopefully they're going to be taking quite a while to look for these people. And they even have their cars are stranded, and they tried to evacuate, and they pretty much left their cars where they were, and now they're searching for who owns those vehicles, a matter of that. So anyway, just the power of we've had two major hurricanes this year, or three of them, I should say, that have been a Category 3 or higher. And I'm sorry, two. It was Florence and Michael were the two strongest ones we've had this season. And I was looking at the National Hurricane Center information this morning, and thankfully the map is quiet. And I say that because we haven't seen something like it's been a good while since we've seen the Atlantic Basin, parts of the Caribbean very quiet with Atlantic activity going on. But there's a very small development along just right near the Lesser Antilles and near the Caribbean that possibly may develop, but it's a low chance of that today. But things could change tomorrow. And like we said, Tropical Storm Leslie, I didn't very hit on this a lot, but I want to let you know this storm was out in the Atlantic Ocean, I think, for about 3 weeks, and doing loop-to-loops. Finally, over the weekend, it made a departure. This formed out in the open Atlantic, did like 2 loop-to-loops, and I kid you not, we thought the storm would never come to a close, and it did over the weekend. It made landfall in Portugal on Saturday, so those areas saw some rain. And Michael actually is headed towards parts of England this morning. So, these storms, once they're gone off, they're done with us. But where do they go after that is the question. So anyway, I thought that was kind of odd. This storm has just been sitting out here forever and forever. And finally, at Leslie, that's what the L-name storm, made its departure in Portugal over the weekend. And so anyway, they saw some rain from that too. And thankfully, we're going to be drying out over the next several days. Maybe tomorrow we may have just the slightest chance of the rain shower. But it's going to be getting much cooler, folks. We could be talking about some frost by Thursday and Friday morning. So will it be record-breaking? Probably not. But we are well below we need to do for this time of year. Our temperatures, just take this into consideration. For the past 5 or so weeks or so, our lows have been in the 60s. So our temperatures, forecast highs, are in the 60s. So think about that for just a minute. And then our lows, where they've been in the 60s, are in the 40s and 50s now. So this is really chilly. for this time of year. Our average high, we should be in the 70s for this time of the year, or this time of the month, I should say, and our lows should be in the mid-50s. So we are, I'll let you figure the math out, and you can get back with me later on that. But we have seen a very active hurricane season. We have seen much below. I don't think we've even been near normal in about a month or so, because our temperatures have just been all over the place. We started the beginning of this month in the upper 80s, low 90s, and now here we are 2 weeks later, we're freezing to death, and it's in the 50s and 60s here. So anyway, that was all part of that cold rush air that Michael brought along with it. And anyway, I'm getting tired of talking about hurricanes. We're ready to move on to some nice fall-like weather. And good news, we're going to be stinging that for the next week and a half or so. And we may even have maybe 1 or 2 80-degree days, just occasionally. That may happen as we wrap up the month of October. But I'm not foreseeing any long-term warm-ups in the meantime. Alrighty, moving on to some history today. In the almanac, I found out today on October 14th. Just to let you know, folks, we've been talking about September. It seems like forever. Now it's October, and we're almost halfway finished with the month. Today, on 1788, astronomer Sir Edward Sabine was born, so that's about roughly 200 some years or so ago. We will thank that astronomer for helping us, explore the stars and wonderful things we see in the sky. And another thing that it's also popular this time of the year is the pumpkin patches. Over the weekend, there was this place, I'm not too sure where it was at. I think it was in the Midwest, so where they had this pumpkin contest where they had to measure the pumpkins, and one of these had broke the record of 2,090 some pounds, I think, and was the largest pumpkin they did see. So I don't think you're going to be seeing large pumpkins the size of 2,000 pounds at Sinkland Farms, but if you do, please let us know. We would love to see how that happens. But, head over to Sinkland Farms this week and get you a pumpkin the weekend. Always a great time to get out there and enjoy, since the temperatures are finally fall-like, and you can get out there and enjoy a nice family pumpkin patch maybe, or get a group of your friends and head over there, get you a pumpkin. They also have hay rides. You can take around, maybe get lost on a cornfield. I don't know. If that's something you want to do, please do it, and take advantage of this too. Coming up later today here on this Radio Free Radford, we'll have Blake Holmes and Isaiah Adar from 12 to 1, and Zach Petty will wrap up between 5 and 6 here on RadioFreeRadford.com. Along with that, I know our team is expanding. I know that those are just a few of them I was able to highlight. Head over to RadioFreeRadford.com. RadioFreeRadford.com. Let me say that a little bit slower. And check out all of our amazing hosts out there. And if you did not get a chance to if you missed the Ryan's Report on Friday, obviously it was fall break, head over to the Ryan's Report's Facebook page and catch the recap on that. Tristan Blake Rides gave a lot of inside information on sports, and obviously it is a very busy week again in sports, as he is very excited that the Patriots won last night, and so am I. So we'll probably be talking about that here in the studio on Friday. And good news to report that we are not going to be seeing any more hurricanes this week, hopefully not for a good while, and we can start calming things down in the Atlantic. As we're talking about some snowstorms. I don't know about you, I'm ready for a nice big snow to get rid of these germs out here. If you've been starting to get sick, obviously please head over to the health center. That is right next to Moffat, and get yourself checked in with them. They'll be sure to get you cured away. Obviously carry your tissues, hand sanitizer. I do that myself, and obviously with the dry air in place, your skin's probably starting to, I guess not, I don't want to say erode away, but maybe start to peel off. Get you some chapstick while you're at it. I know, and you could be needing that yourself. I've been using that about every day, as well as your lips. Moisturizer is the word I was looking for this morning. Alrighty, it's 15 minutes till the top of the hour. We hope you make it a great Monday. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, continue to listen to great hits here on RadioFreeRadford.com.